for Pascal Siakam, who will most likely get the NBA's Most Improved Player Award. Siakam one-on-one coverage with Draymond Green. Nice move inside. He's turned from a role player on a good team to an emerging star on a team that's fighting for a championship.
You know, I've heard, a lot of people or him say some things this year, and they keep saying, are you surprised? And he keeps saying, no, this is what I've always envisioned for myself. He believes in himself, and he went to work at it.
Curry trying to draw contact again, had the shot blocked. Here comes Siakam, sidestep, layup is good. Wow, what a quarter for Siakam. 14 of his 26.
He's playing with a mentality on an offensive end that you cannot guard, no matter who's in front of him.
I just like when he plays that aggressive, having the mindset of going for it and knowing that it's going to be okay. Your teammates have your back. Your teammates believe in you. That's all that matters, and he knows that.
Siakam flips it up and banks it home. He's got 30. Pascal Siakam with a brilliant second half. He's made 11 straight shots.
We got out of transition a lot. Our transition D was horrible, and I let him get in the rhythm in the first half, first quarter really. So I got to do a better job of taking his rhythm away. You got to take your hat off to him. Regardless of this game, you still have to take your hat off to him, even before this game, of what he's been able to accomplish this year.
And the Raptors getting an unbelievable game from Pascal Siakam.
What a night for this young man.
Moments like this definitely, shows that I'm going to continue to be myself, continue to work hard, and I have, so much room to improve.
In the biggest game of his life, with a breathtaking performance.
The sun was out and shining Thursday in Toronto, and certainly then again on Friday, as the fans celebrated the Raptors' first ever win in the NBA Finals. Scotiabank Arena, the home of NBA TV's coverage of the 2019 NBA Finals. It is game time at the Finals, presented by State Farm. Welcome on in with 3D Dennis Scott, Steve Smith. I'm Jared Greenberg, and we're with you over the next 60 minutes to not just only recap what happened in Game 1 with the Raptors' 9-point win, but get you set for Game 2, which will take place back in this building on Sunday. Guys, the big news that we were waiting to find out on Friday would be the status of Kevin Durant and Andre Iguodala. Remember, Durant, back in the series against Houston, injured that calf. Durant did not play in all of the Western Conference Finals, unavailable for Game 1, and today we get an update from Steve Kerr on KD's status for Sunday.
Kevin's not going to play Sunday. Yeah, I guess we've been, sort of holding out hope, but I might as well just say it now. He's not practicing today. We'll have a practice tomorrow, but he's still progressing. It's near impossible for him to play on Sunday.
You kind of see him around the team more. All of a sudden, he's on the bus to shoot around or to practice. Like, once you start to get closer, you start to kind of move back into a normal schedule. And so you're starting to see him, hear his voice more. You start to hear him coming up with adjustments, him before the game, giving his input. But, that's kind of just the natural build-up when you're going through an injury.
All right, so we learned that KD will not play Sunday. That was kind of the assumption here. And while there are conflicting reports around whether he will be ready for Game 3 or 4, we don't know. The team finished up practice on Friday around 3 o'clock local time. Durant stayed on the court a little bit later and then stayed even longer in the training room getting treatment for about another hour after that. So what are your thoughts here as the Warriors are in uncharted territory, being down 3-D, 1-0 and they know they won't have Kevin Durant for the at least foreseeable future?
For me, it gives us a chance to see Steve Kerr really go deeper into his mind and try to figure out, how do I tweak this team like I did in the Western Conference when he went 10-11 deep. But now you're dealing with a different Raptors opponent who understands what you're going through, and they're taking full advantage of it, Smitty. So as much as we want, all of us as basketball minds want us Kevin Durant back on the floor, but let's face it, going one-on-one with the assistant coach after practice, Smitty, lets you know he's nowhere near getting back on the court.
Yeah, and 3D is totally right. I mean, with Kevin Durant, we understand the Warriors is a potent team, and the Toronto Raptors, like 3D said, is they just going to come out and play against whoever's out there. And the Golden State Warriors is pretty good without him, but you're missing arguably one of the top two guys in this NBA. And I think right now, if you're the Golden State Warriors, you have to still have the mindset, like 3D said, that he will not be available because you don't know how much he'll be ready. Same thing with Boogie Cousins. They got to come out. The problems they had yesterday in that game was transition defense. A lot of things they can control, and also give the Raptors credit. Defensively, they were pretty good.
And we will get into all of that. But without Kevin Durant, a situation that Steve Kerr referred to earlier on Friday as a tricky situation, can this Warriors team win if Durant can't return to the court this finals?
I don't believe the outcome will be as easy. Do they have enough firepower? Yes, but it makes the task harder. Last night we saw in the game where when things went awry on the offensive end, they all looked left and right. Oh, that guy's not there we can throw the ball to and go get us a bucket or get fouled. And I think that's what we're seeing now here in the finals.
Yeah, their team is still unbelievable. And I think when you look at what they did in the Western Conference Finals, you know this team has the capability. The one thing I would love for fans to understand is your mindset is to come in to get one. They didn't get the first one, but they are the Toronto Raptors. They had home court. If you're the Golden State Warriors, even if you lose two, yes, it's a big, tall task, but there's 2 games in Toronto. You still won. You'd rather be one. But if you steal 2, you're still in the driver's seat.
So while Kevin Durant continues to ramp up his on-court work to get closer to returning, the good news for the Warriors is that they will, or expected to have, Andre Iguodala on the court, who you were very nervous about during our late show following Game 1. Iguodala got an MRI on his injured calf, which he initially hurt in the Western Conference Finals.
Yes, Jared, in Game 3. And the same reaction, I say it again, fans at home. Watch how he looks back. And then Smitty, we've all been there before. Look at the grimace on the face. And then that smack of the hand. Come on, give it to me, Iggy. When he smacks his hand, that right there, Smitty says, that injury is more. Yes, the MRI came back clear, but we know when something hurts bad, you show it on your face.
Yeah, you do. And the one thing is what encouraged me yesterday was Steve Kerr looked at him and they had that communication. He said no, he waved him off and still stayed in the game for a player. So, and he was guarding Kawhi Leonard, and the MRI comes back where it's negative. But everybody's banged up right now. Is just you got to be careful and to watch what happens on Sunday. Will he be able to go and guard a guy like Kawhi Leonard?
There were questions last night about some adjustments that the Warriors could make. Even before we wondered if Andre Iguodala would be able to play. Now we know he is expected to play. But after seeing DeMarcus Cousins in a very limited role yesterday, just played 8 minutes, would you anticipate, Smitty, that Steve Kerr would go back to the original plan that he used for every other game that DeMarcus Cousins played in, where if he's going to play, he's going to start?
Well, Jared, you know this better than me, and you in 3D. We've all been watching. Steve Kerr started 1,000 different lineups. I'm not sure what he might do.
Yeah, 11 of them so far.
One thing is I would look at if Jordan Bell, I thought he put in Jordan Bell to see if they could just outrun the Raptors, and also Marc Gasol at the 5. Kevon Looney, I think, is the ace in the hole for Steve Kerr. He's been so solid. He might just go to Kevon Looney or DeMarcus Cousins to start the game off. They need a better start for them, and I think that's what's going to be good for them to take away this crowd in Toronto.
I should say 11 different players have started so far in the playoffs for the Warriors. Do you think we see Cousins back in there for Iguodala?
Maybe Cousins or maybe Damian Jones, just like we saw in Game 4. Everyone was shocked when he went with Damian Jones. He only played 4 minutes in that game, but one lively body. You talked about another screen setter. There was no alley-oops in Game 1. That was one of the things Draymond Green's been able to do throughout the whole playoffs is break down that second line of defense and either get a backdoor layup or alley-oop. 0 in Game 1.
Coming up, I'm going to explain why winning Game 1 doesn't necessarily mean in the 2019 playoffs why you're guaranteed to win the series. But if they continue to get played like they did last night from Pascal Siakam, Raptor fans should be real excited about this history-making season.